Greetings, YouTube. Please forgive the fans. It's rather warm here. So recently, the Orange Menace has told the CDC to stop taking all the information about COVID, and all that information is now being shifted over to the Health and Human Services Division of the U.S. government. So the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, is no longer getting COVID data and no longer releasing that data to the public. Now the Health and Human Services Division is getting all that data and is going to be releasing that information to the public. There's one small problem, is that the HHS is under the control of the president. So the president has got one of his own stooges in charge of the HHS, and they are now in control of all the COVID data in the U.S. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been doing this thing, daily vlogging, for more than 11 years. And I've heard the phrase political correctness, and I've been accused of political correctness for that entire time. What the Orange Menace is doing right now is actually political correctness. The political structure is now in charge of the data. The political structure is now setting the narrative to serve its own purpose, which is what that phrase originally meant, political correctness. It was a term of derision aimed at governments that were authoritarian and fascist, and not aimed at people that were trying to whitewash the universe. No. It was governments that were attempting to whitewash the universe. So why is the president doing this? Because the president is 15 points behind Joe Biden. Now please remember, I'll be voting for Joe Biden, but I don't like Joe Biden. I think he is the absolute worst candidate that could have been chosen amongst all those that ran on the Democratic ticket for this particular primary. The best was Bernie Sanders, but Americans are cowards and didn't vote for him. They voted for Joe Biden for some inexplicable reason. It still baffles me why they want the stumbling, mumbling, war criminal rapist as president, but they do. So that's who I'm stuck voting for now. But our current president is now in charge of the most important piece of information that we can have right now. All the stuff about COVID-19. How many infections we have, how many deaths we have, hot zones, areas that are recovering, methods that work, methods that don't. So be very careful about any information coming out of the U.S. government about COVID-19. You can't trust any of it at all henceforth. It is now under the control of the political machine. The Orange Menace is now going to only give out the information that he wants to. Remember, this is a man that wanted us to do less testing so that his numbers didn't look as bad, because that's how he sees this. He sees every infection and every death not as a tragedy, but as a negative impact on his potential of re-election. Because he is an absolute egomaniacal madman. Total narcissist. Everything is about him. And he would rather have low testing, which means infection rates will skyrocket because no one will know where the disease is, because that's what testing tells us. It tells us where the disease is. But he would rather have those numbers just skyrocket and then control those numbers rather than actually address the issue, which is we need lots and lots more testing. We need 4, 5 million tests a day for us to get a real grip on knowing where COVID-19 is and help rolling it back. But he's not concerned about controlling it and rolling it back. He doesn't actually care about who dies. He gets tested every day. So he doesn't care about his family's fine, and that's all that matters. The billionaires' families are fine. That's all that matters. Everyone else is a sacrifice. Remember, there are two types of Republicans in the world. There are billionaires, and then there are suckers. Open your wallet to see which you are. Because if you're not a billionaire, then you're a sucker for supporting the GOP. And right now, the GOP is controlling the data on a pandemic. So now no one in America is actually going to know what's going on. All to serve a sociopath's efforts to get reelected. So anyone out there that supports the Republican Party, fuck you sideways. You're to blame for this. You did this. And every single death lies at your fucking feet.